At this time, I'd like to bring the monthly meeting, December 3rd of the Wallingford Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission order. The date is December 3rd, the time is 7 p.m. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Caroline Reynes.
Nick Kern.
Jim Vitale.
Deborah Phillips.
Michael Caruso. Jim Heilman.
You got the mic on?
Aaron O'Hare, Environmental Planner.
Okay, going on to the consideration of the minutes. Regular meeting, November 5th. Is there any comments regarding the regular minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting on November 5th, 2025 be approved as submitted.
Is there a second? Second. Call for a vote. Now, the voting members tonight will be Nick, myself, Debbie, Mike, and Jim. Okay, so I'll call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, going on to the special meeting of November 13th. Now, Aaron has made a comment that how did you phrase it? There isn't a quorum of the people that were at the special meeting, so she
Right.
believes that it should not be acted on tonight. Is that correct?
Right. We wouldn't have enough to pass it, correct.
Okay, so that's carry on to next month. Old business, application 19.819 3.7, 988 East Center Street, benchmark. Request for bond?
Not ready.
Not ready. Okay, the next item on the agenda, are they here tonight? The 1175 Broad Street? Come on up. We need name and address for the records when you speak.
1175.
No.
1175 South Broad Street, Wallingford.
Okay, are the microphones, they all got green dots on them?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
You got to bring them in closer, I think.
Could I please have your names again, each one, and your affiliations?
Joseph Lincoln.
Harold Lincoln.
And Cheyenne Santello.
Thank you.
Can you spell Santiello?
Santello.
Okay, Santello. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, you've been working on this, well, you want to make the presentation, you make the presentation.
Chairman Vitale, so we started this, I would say, right around 10, 11 months ago.
Okay, we got to deal with wetlands now.
We came to the Wetlands Commission, and we are faced with a few challenges. Where we want the property, it's sitting on the wetlands sector,
You're sitting on an upland review area.
upland review area, I would say about 18 feet or so, give or take. And what we would, what we would want to do, we want to keep it there ultimately because we have a second driveway and we don't want to encroach on neighboring properties, so that's why we're here today.
Okay, so where you have the building on your presentation or your maps, et cetera, from the top of the slope, is it 5 feet off the top of the slope? I'm going from memory, or is it 10 feet?
Yes, it is.
Which is it?
5 feet.
It's 5 feet from the top of the slope.
Yes.
Now, some of us was there, they actually had a special meeting out there. And your request is to leave it there.
Correct.
Aaron's request is to move it 10 feet closer to the west, move it to the west 10 feet?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Give that upland review area 15 15 feet. Commissioners, any comments? Debbie?
No comment.
Mike?
No comment.
Jimmy?
Not at this time.
Okay, Aaron?
The environmental planners report went out to you last Wednesday because of Thanksgiving, so it went out Wednesday. It's about 7 pages that explains when you have a very, very steep slope, how the upland review area is set back additional distance than normal. Our normal upland review area is 50 feet. So in this case, the upland review area would be 50 feet back from the top of slope. And that is drawn, I purposely included the drawing, because it's hard to understand without the drawing. So I included that figure. It's called Figure 1 from our regulations. And that was drawn on here. But really, that's interesting, but the commission is asked to either approve this location of the structure or not. Whether it's in the upland review area or not, whether the line is this way or that way, or 10 feet this way or that way, it's where the structure is. Is that structure too close to the top of the ravine? As a wetland commission, that your primary concern would be the erosion, not safety. I mean, residents might be interested in the safety aspect, but as a wetland commission, you're interested in if there's going to be cause for erosion to incur with activity, construction activity and residential activity so close to that edge of slope going down, because the wetlands are at the bottom of that ravine and a stream. So that's what comes into play there. There's some other minor issues. I don't know how much you want me to.
So your major concern is just the erosion on that?
The potential for erosion. Today, there's no erosion.
Well, what would be tomorrow's erosion? After construction, what would be the erosion after construction you were worried about?
They're proposing an erosion control line of silt fence, I believe, which would deal with during construction. Primarily, you got your roof drain, okay? So they're proposing the roof flows come down in a flexible 4-inch pipe underground, and then daylights at the top of the crest of slope within, I don't know, 3 feet? Maybe Joseph can help with that.
It was 3 feet.
But if they move the structure 10 feet further west, where are they going to daylight the roof drains? Or they're not going to have roof drains?
No, they daylighted a little further away from the
But
top.
it's going to go to daylight at the top of the slope again.
Right, that's why in my conditions of approval, I suggested that they provide a stone protection area to dissipate the force as it comes off the roof in big storms. So that would help.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, it doesn't change the outlet to the pipe, whether the structure is 5 feet top of slope or 15 feet top of slope.
Well, you can move that outlet, the discharge outlet back further to the west. Yes, it does affect that. I've never seen a new structure so close to such a steep ravine.
Yeah, well, that's, I don't know if that's, just observation doesn't really cut the mustard here, I don't think.
I will say that normally there would be trees there, but the trees have been cleared over the past several years, so it is an open area today in that particular place where they're going to put the structure. It's open. They don't have to cut any trees down. But the tree roots help hold that ravine in. So, and that's why I included a photograph where, in the back there, where I'm requesting some of that material be taken off the slope. It's suffocating those tree roots of this big oak tree, I believe. And so just to take some of there's earthen material there and some leaves that have accumulated over time that were dumped there, and the owners indicated they would do that. They would clear that off to help. They want that tree to live because its roots are holding in that steep bank.
What your arguments are good arguments for the bank is being held by that mature growth in there. I don't know. Any comments? Caroline?
I might just have one, just because I was there. I do agree with what Chairman Vitale is saying, as I'm trying to picture how far back, and if it really would, it's all going to wind up in the same place anyway. I don't know. To me, I think it would be fine as is, but that's just my opinion.
Nick?
This future septic system you've got on your print, has that been engineered, or is that just something you drew in?
Yes, it was looked at and engineered by Ernie's.
By who?
Ernie, he's our septic
You know
guy.
Ernie.
Ernie Martino?
Or Martino, yes.
Okay. Did he do a deep hole test? See
Not
what the
yet.
soil, oh, okay.
Because the reasoning, we have our swimming pool there, and until we got everything resolved, he said it was better to get it resolved and then come out and see where the septic system could go, because there was one issue where we might have had to get hooked up to the town sewer.
Right. And then I don't see the water service. Where's the water service going in? You're going to have water in this, is this dwelling?
Yes, it's town water.
Right. Where's it coming up the driveway?
Yes, it's got to come up the driveway. Or we could have it come off our house, because we had the water installed to all 5 houses in 2018. They just ran the main into the beginning of the ravine. From there, they broke each house off to a 2-inch pipe going up to each house.
Right.
And they said we could tap off near the house and go right out to the new structure.
The only thing I'm concerned with is the type of soil material that is up there. Mr. Martino should have told you that one of the first things you do when you're going to spec out a building like this with a septic system is to do your deep hole testing and just see how many square feet of leaching fields you need,
In there,
all right? And
Sure.
it's obvious he didn't do that, so I'm just a little worried that I would feel comfortable if you had more information on that with the deep hole test and the type of soil that's there that can handle the septic system. Because what we don't want to have happen is it purge down the ravine and then end up going down to your neighbors.
yeah, it was going to be towards the middle of the property, nowhere near the ravine.
Right,
Yeah, so it would be, actually where where the pool is, it would be probably 8 feet away from the pool, Ernie was talking about.
yeah, I believe it's got to be 25 from the swimming pool, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, 24.
State regulations is 25.
The pool will be coming down.
Yeah, we're taking that pool down.
Yeah, that's the best part of the property. And you say the water line was just put in 2018?
Correct.
Okay. Well, if they didn't put dams in where they put the water line in, there's a good, I don't know, I'd feel more comfortable knowing what's going on with the septic system as far as what he's going to use for material. He's going to use infiltrators, or is it just going to be pipe and stone, or galleys, what he's going to use, and what type of material is there. So Jim and I know that property pretty well from the last 50 years, so we know a little bit about what's been buried there or dumped or whatever.
Right,
So that's the only concern I had.
sure.
If, Mr. Chairman, can I comment on what Commissioner Kern said? So what was, these folks have been trying to get, to move their project forward for many months. So what was decided is we would go forward with the wetland application. The septic system area they've drawn is outside even the extended upland review area. So it is outside. If perchance it needs to be moved inside our jurisdiction, the inland wetland jurisdictional area, they would have to come back to us. Right today, they have it drawn outside our extended upland review area.
I see that, but wouldn't you want, if you're building a house where you live, wouldn't you want to know that the septic system, where it's going
Oh,
to be
totally, totally. That's why in the condition of approval, they'd have to come back, because they might be, I guess I should back up. Planning and zoning, the way it sits right this minute, they want them to connect to sewers.
Right.
Okay? And they are trying to negotiate a settlement or trying to get it back to septic system. So they haven't, it might take a while. So they at least wanted to see if this situation is amenable to wetlands, to at least the concept of this house is amenable to wetlands. And then if they have to come back for the sewer, well, the sewer connection and/or a different style septic system, they will have to do that.
Where is the sewer line in that area? Is it up the driveway?
No, it isn't. It's,
So where would you have to connect? All the way out into Broad Street?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's not even close to our driveway, the road coming into the place. From my understanding, is it's lower down towards the junkyards, sort of near Staples Plaza, where it starts. So they, the engineer in the town said there would have to be some sort of pump coming up.
Yeah, they want you to pay to have the pipe run up from the middle of the road up to your property.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this, does Mr. Cohn live on, to the west of you on this piece?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's why there's no sewer there, because, you know, you're talking about double digits to put a sewer line in, especially if he needs to hook in. How many, you have, you're gonna have 2 dwellings, right? The house you live in now and the new house?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then Mr. Cohn's got one back, and he lives in the back,
He lives across the street, yes.
across the street, okay.
Yeah.
So there's 3 that's gotta be tied in, so that,
I think he talked about 5, right?
Yeah, 5 total.
There's 5
Total,
residents
yes.
up there.
5 residents, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a commercial 6-inch pipe for sewer. But I would look into that a little further too before I started my project.
When we were trying to get the water hooked up, when we found out we were contaminated years ago, when they finally got the go-ahead to install the water lines, like I said earlier, they connected each one separate with a 2-inch line, and opened the road 5 times for each house. And we kept asking the town if we can get sewer at that time, and they said there was no possible way at that time. That was 2018. Because we wanted to somehow get sewer up there.
They're having trouble hearing you, so you got to talk into the mic, very closely into the mic.
Sorry about that. Yeah, and it was 2018 where we tried to get the town, we wanted to hook up to sewer at that time when they had the road open so many times, and the town said it was, you know, wasn't feasible and they couldn't connect us.
And we also had everybody on the street aboard to
Yeah.
get that done.
We're all willing to
Well, at
pay
the
to hook
time.
up.
I believe the state regulation is if the septic system's there, you can revamp it or replace it. But they're not allowing new septic systems put in if there's accessibility to town sewers. I mean, one of the reasons is, this would be a good example, because if for some reason the septic, the leaching fields found a crack in the red rock, went down into the ravine, and then everybody downstream of you is gonna have that sweet smell in the summertime. So I'm not saying it's not allowed, but I would do a little more investigation on, to make sure you can put the septic system in.
Okay. Because they even tried asking the condominiums at the time, and they wouldn't allow it either, and the town said it wasn't feasible to hook us to the condominium sewer, or there was another option to come out of Tracy underneath the railroad tracks and up the hill, and they said that wasn't an option either.
Okay, Debbie,
No comment.
Mike,
No questions.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I think it's important to point out that we're looking at a potential residence, and as such, one would expect a resident to take a lot more concern about their yard, their property, than what we see happening across the ravine, where commercial establishment just goes in, whether they're allowed to or not, set pipes into that ravine. That ravine has been created by that activity that goes on that road. That road's been there a very, very long time, and the steepness of the ravine on the west side is due to the fact that the water is coming from the east, hitting that west wall, and then it goes south. It's classic erosion that you have there. You can look at the sculptured characteristics of that whole area there. It's 100% erosion that's of a very erosive material, and I think I heard mentioned by someone there at that meeting that it was down to bedrock. Is that correct at the bottom there?
Correct.
Yeah, that's a lot of erosive soils. It's also a great potential for septic. As far as the way our regulations work, as far as I'm concerned, this is perfect. This has created a condition which we can look at the potential, and that's what we are here for, potential. We hate coming in after the fact, but the potential here is we have steep slopes. Now, if we went down that steep slope into a pristine, wetland, I'd have a different attitude towards this. That is not the kind of situation we're facing here. The bottom of that area is a ditch, an eroded ditch, and it's got a little bit of trace sediments, especially on the south end, because it can't escape there. The road's there, so it's got a pipe. That containment created a small platform of wetlands down at that south end, and there's also more to the north because of the way it has been eroded and the way everything has settled out. I'm happy that we're able to look at things like this. And again, if it weren't the kind of condition we're looking at, I'd have no doubt but to push everything as far away back from that slope as possible. But again, we're looking at a residential situation. It is anticipated when people invest in their property, they take a little bit of pride in that. It's theirs. They don't want to see erosion taking place. They take care of that if it starts to happen. So I think having that residence there is a good thing. It adds an element of pride, perhaps, to the whole project. And as the chairman pointed out, where the pipe leaves from the drains, the water drains coming off the building, it's no difference if you put the building back, the pipe just has to be longer. So that's kind of a moot issue as far as where it comes out as drainage. What is absolutely needed at that point, it's not a huge amount of water, it's not a huge building, is a way to dissipate that energy and don't allow it to erode. Shouldn't be a difficult situation here. Overall, I don't see any harm in what's being asked for here. I don't see anything but improvement to the potential future stability, at least while you folks are there. Beyond that, I don't think I'll be here. Maybe not too many of us will be here to look at it down the road, but if there's problems, there should be a commission here to address them. So again, I'm happy that we have these kinds of regulations that allow us to look carefully into these things and to be able to have our discretion of that upland review area to say, yes, you can, or no, you can't. In this particular circumstance, I think everything you are planning to do is basically a benefit to the area. Looking south of this area, you can see that this little stream has carved its way on the west side of that road, that main road down there. I don't think it was ever naturally intended to be that way, but through construction over the year, that's the way it flows. It goes right down to the junkyard at the base of the hill, goes across the road going up the street there, I forgot the name of it, the old Colony Road there. Yeah, and then it enters, I guess, somewhere near Frenchie's.
Right through Frenchie's.
there.
That'll, if you recall, Jim, years ago, there was an issue created with that area next to Frenchie's and through there, and it was filling up, the channel was filling up. And what it was filling up with was basically road sands from sanding the road. And of course, at all Broad Street, all that funnels down through the junkyard, under the tracks, and then through Frenchie's. we allowed a excavator to go in there and bale a trench down through, as long as he baled product on each side of the trench and not one trench.
Okay.
So but that was what was ended up down there.
Yeah, it goes flat, and so therefore any velocities coming down the slope are gone and it just spreads out. And that same thing happened on a micro scale right up at your property there with that southern pipe coming out and displaying its sediments. And it doesn't take long for sediments to form wetland soils. It happens every year in the gutters of my house.
You know, it's interesting, you're bringing up some points. What I noticed coming out of this site the other day was where happened to be Fred Bowman had his garage and then the lot next to it. Well, the lot's almost all paved next to it, right on the banks of the ravine like we're talking about, you know? And this gentleman's in with an application, which I don't think we saw one for anything else up and through that area. Well, okay. So basically, let's see if we can get forward. I get the feeling from the commission, they're happy to leave the house, the structure where it is. But we want to be very careful for the outlet to the gutter system, is that the right word? The rainwater gutter system for the roof. We want to be protected with rip-wrap around the outlet to handle the whatever flow comes out.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this structure an A roof or single slope roof?
An A roof.
So half the roof is going to the front anyway. There wouldn't even be, I don't know if I don't know what you're going to do with the gutters on that side, whether you're going to try and tie them together or not. Your area is not that large, is it
No.
really?
No.
We could pull them right into one, yeah.
Yep. We could pull them right into one, yes.
So, I mean, if you pull them together, I mean, the outlet, like I say, some riprap on the outlet.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think that we've got anything at this moment because we're not sure, nobody's sure about the septic system.
They'll have to come back to us if it's in our jurisdictional
Yeah, but
area.
right, so, but we don't need that in any kind of motion tonight.
Actually, maybe you should, just for the file, so my successor in this position will know that the septic system on the drawing is not approved yet. Maybe it should be. I
Well,
think
but
I do have that in one of the conditions. Let's see. Yeah, number 6.
The problem with the drawing is outside the upland review area.
We're correct.
So it doesn't even pertain to us at this point.
Yeah, and it is mentioned in my condition of approval number 6, my suggested
Yeah, but
condition.
how does it pertain to us if it's outside the upland review area?
Because let's say they do want a septic system. They
Yeah.
don't want to hook up to sewers.
Right.
Let's say they work it out with the
okay.
town offices and the health department that they can do health. What, like Nick said, what if they have to make it bigger and now it's part of leach?
Yeah, but
leach and
what
fi-
is that to do with tonight's motion?
Nothing,
There you go.
but they might have to come back. I just want folks to know.
That's good. All right, so I'll entertain a motion on significant activity of this application.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that application A25-10.1, 1175 South Broad Street, Joe Lincoln and Cheyenne Santello, be deemed not a significant impact activity.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Call for a vote. Nick?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. Jim?
Yes.
Yes. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny this application.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that application A25-10.1, 1175 South Broad Street, Joe Lincoln and Cheyenne Santello, be approved with the 7 conditions of approval on,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, there's number 6.
Number 1.
But are you,
number 1.
well, hang on a minute. Are you accepting all the conditions of approval that are on this list?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And with the exception of number 6?
I don't have the list in front of me.
All right, the resolution of the sanitary waste aspect for the proposed live work unit needs to be pursued by the permittee. Should the outcome indicate work activities will need to occur within the extended upland review area, then the applicant will need to file a modification to permit in that regard in order to construct the unit.
Yeah.
This is basically what you were just talking about. Well, if I may, the way I see it, if it does happen to need to be moved into the wetlands area and we do have to come back, is it an option for me to just approach Aaron, contact Aaron and say, this is what's going on and proceed? Or, I mean, or can we leave well enough alone if it is the way it is on paper now and Ernie approves it and the soil test comes back as good, then would we be able to move forward?
If where it's drawn on the map now, if that's where it can function as a septic system, you don't need to come back.
Okay.
It's only if it
It's
needs
got to be
moved.
moved and moved into the upland review area, that's 50 feet from the top of the slope,
Yes.
then you got to come back and visit. But I don't think it needs to be, I don't know, you got something different we haven't explored, whether it's, we certainly all expect it could be administration approval, it could be a modification to the permit, it doesn't need to have to wait 2 months to deal with it. I think you can deal with it in one meeting,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
okay?
Absolutely.
All right, so,
So we need to get rid of one.
okay, get rid of 1. 6. And get rid of 6 too?
Yeah, the 6
Get
is
rid of
done.
6 too.
Okay.
All right, so, okay, Nick,
Yeah, I just wanted to, wouldn't it be, to me, sounds like it would be easier for you to get Ernie out there, do the deep hole test, because all the contractors are slow now, and I know Ernie is slow.
Yes.
Yes.
Punch the hole, see what you got, he can calculate out what you got there, and then next month on January 7th, when you come back, it's a done deal. You can go,
they're done, they're not coming back.
no, if we vote on the house tonight,
Yeah,
they're
they're
not,
not coming back.
unless the septic system is screwed up, right? Or no?
Well, you're right, Nick. I think between the health department or whoever makes the determination.
The health
You
department.
first got to first they got to allow you to put a septic system there and not force you to go down to the junkyard with a sewer line.
Right.
And second, you need somebody like Ernie to locate the septic, this field, the size, and see if it's encumbering into the upland review area.
Right.
Okay? If you can get that all done before the Friday of next month, before the January meeting, the Friday before January meeting, you'd be back,
Okay.
probably get it done. Is that?
Yeah, because, was it 3 months ago? Ernie and Mike were up there. Ernie was first, and he told us, a good area to put it where we want it, outside of wetlands. And when Mike was up from the health department one visit, he said it was a good area also, but it had to
Okay,
get tested.
so
Yeah.
we may be fighting for an issue that doesn't exist.
Right.
Nick, anything?
Yeah, where's the existing septic system now on the house you're living in? I'm not trying to pick it
It's,
apart.
it's the 2 boxes down closer.
It's below, adjacent to,
To the right of the house towards the street, just two
there's 2 long arrows
rectangle line,
pointing.
areas.
It'd be these two?
And how old is that septic system?
1970, I believe.
Okay. Is the topo, the land where the new septic system going higher than the existing septic system?
Yes.
All right, yeah, that's fine. You want to approve it, Jim? I'm not opposed to that. I'd like to see some design and some soil testing on what's going on with either the health department or Ernie. I mean,
Okay,
all right?
all right, so you know where we're coming from. I'm sorry to
Mr.
interrupt
Chairman,
you.
I'm just,
Okay.
can I say, I'm confused. I thought this group, the applicants, were not opposed to condition number 1.
It really doesn't make any difference. It really doesn't make any difference. Go ahead.
I'd like to amend the motion, the conditions of approval in the environmental planners report of November 26, 2025, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Okay, motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion made and seconded? Any discussion? I'll start down the other end. Jimmy?
No discussion?
No, you ready to vote?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Nick?
Was it 6 or 7 on the eliminate?
6.
6 and 1.
6 and 1.
6 and 1? Okay. Yes.
Yes. You're all set then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good luck.
all right. Okay. We have an application tonight. Aaron, it's this application from the Land Trust.
Yes,
Does the Land Trust own this property?
yes.
They do. It's not
Yeah.
Town of Wallingford property.
No.
They own
Nope,
it.
they own them.
Okay, so this is, what is it, putting walking trails through there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that?
Walking trails through there?
Yes, but it's an after-the-fact application.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, going on to reports and communication.
Is there any disposition here?
No, that's a new app.
Discussion
Oh,
of
it's received.
proposed to
Received,
adopt fines
received.
for violation.
All right, pardon me.
Aaron submitted a list on my request of surrounding towns with different fee schedules. And I went over them, and the one I like is, could be some modification, is I think Middletown. I think is the first one that she.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Middletown.
Middletown. It gave the violator some relief to get it done, and then it went on to start installing fines or when they don't get it done. The other ones, they're following state guidelines of could be 1,000 a day, but by the same token, I believe you would need a list of what each fine was going to be. It's just that you couldn't, I don't think I don't know how you're going to determine what the fine is, unless every fine is $1,000. So, how's everybody else feel? Caroline?
I just have a question. So right now, if there's a violation, at some point, some of the land records show that there's a violation?
I think, if any, there's only one that we ever got to that point.
Okay.
We have to start doing something more serious, and it's not my favorite situation to do, but you can see applications come before us, applicants, and they just ignore us.
So I would agree with the sentiment of Middletown. I think that the trick is with the $1,000 fine, right? I feel differently if a corporation or a business or an out-of-town person is violating daily. Maybe they can afford the $1,000 a day versus, the homeowner that I don't want to bankrupt anybody. I want to find that balance where it's like the punishment fits the crime. Of course, we can't go back once the wetlands are damaged. It affects the whole town's drinking water and the environment and everything like that. But I am in favor of adopting fines. I think something has to be done. It kind of makes my blood pressure rise when I see an after-the-fact permit. Constantly this is happening, or people are violating, and some people really do, to your point with Middletown, they make an attempt to rectify, and some people just ignore, and I don't think that's acceptable. So I would like something to happen.
Okay. Nick?
I'm just thinking back, 6 or 8 of them that I can remember, corporate and residential, that I think that they were given the notice of the $1,000 fine, they would have moved a little faster, and they probably would have done. I mean, we've got one right now on Center Street that's been over 2 years, and we asked him to finish it up, and he still hasn't finished it up. So if we gave him the $1,000 fine, I think he would go into gear and finish it up so he can get it behind us, because now, the Schoolhouse Row was another one that I can name 6 or 8 of them that dragged on for months and months and months, and they could have been cleared up right away if there was a fine in place.
Well, that,
You can argue with me.
no, I'm not arguing. I was hoping that something like the Middletown one would give, there'd be a limit to the first violation. And if it wasn't corrected, then it would escalate up to 1,000 a day. But allow some way of encouraging them, but also some time to deal with. But Debbie's got the answer right here.
It was a hot topic up at Kakiwick when I went for the talks.
Oh.
Fines and how to, how many days, how much, and everything. So I think it's way past time to do it. I sat next to the chairperson from Ridgefield, and their fines are $1,500 per day. They don't have any trouble with violations, and they don't go to court.
Does Lamont live in Richfield?
Could be.
Mike?
I personally like the Middletown, where
I mean-
progresses up and it's per day, and I like the dollar amount stuff. I'm not into, we start hammering residents. I'm not into we start hammering residents at $1,000 per day. That's just unreasonable. Most of these people violate because they just don't know it. So with the people that have been advised that don't follow the direction on the violation, I have no problem hitting them with $100 per day until they correct it. With the business, I don't even think 200 is enough. With the business, maybe 500 a day. But I think 1,000 is extreme, especially for a residential violation, where again, most of these people have no idea they're even violating it. They don't even know the wetlands on the property.
Jimmy?
I'm not good at punishment. I do think that $1,000 a day, just a blank statement, is absurd. It's mindless. A graduated payment process, timed, is much more relevant, and I think it provides an increased impact as you go along. I think the Middletown is a good platform to start off of and maybe make some minor tweaks to it with wisdom that I don't have, but other people certainly would.
I did a tad of research myself and found that even planning and zoning in Wallingford has fines, or ZBA, one of the two groups. And once the issue is resolved, there's a little bit of negotiation on the fine. And it's been always pretty favorable working with Wallingford on the fine, whereas Meriden is very hard negotiable. Let's say if Wallingford's knocks 2/3 off, Meriden might take 1/4 off, and the fines are that much larger. But I don't think, in Meriden, I don't think it makes, they pay the fine. If that's the problem, they pay the fine. All right, so there's the guidance.
Okay, I had an idea to call Middletown and, chat them up on how this really works and what could be done better, to feel them out, in how it works in reality. And my other comment was what it didn't say in B for the first violation. It didn't say, but I think I'm reading into it, that if the commission would have to give the violator a time frame to comply. So that's the key thing, 30 days or half a year or whatever it is, And then if the 30 days or 3 months, whatever comes, then it goes to the dollar amount violation, fine.
I think, too, if we notice that if somehow you could get some bonds involved in the fine with a bond, they seem to pay attention when they can't get their bond back, that kind of thing. Well, there you can work on that, Aaron. You don't seem to be too busy with new applications, so maybe you got some time drafting something up.
I just have two more questions that came to mind. The first question is, where does the money go when we collect the fine? Is there any guidance for that, or does it
I think
go
it's
back?
general fund. I don't think
Okay.
it's specific. Is that correct, Aaron?
I don't know.
And my second, maybe if you called Middletown, they would share how it works there. But my second question and thought is, in terms of enforcement, do we know how, Debbie mentioned court, and I thought the light bulb went off. What happens when we give fines? have we heard how they enforce it? Like when people say, I can't afford it, or I'm just not paying, do
Yeah,
you
good
foreclose
point.
on their
Yeah.
house?
Yeah.
You know? I just would like to know.
Okay. All righty.
Is there a motion that was started or not?
Where did I?
No, they're not gonna move on it.
Okay, nothing's changed on Farm Hill, Aaron?
No, that's under the town planners dealing with that, so,
I don't even, why don't we take it off our agenda here then?
all right.
So take it off our agenda
Okay.
until the town planner brings a report back. Application form revision, I know we poked at it and we decided that there was too much on there. Too many pages.
Right, and I'll bring it back
Working on it.
in a shorter form.
Okay, now, we got, number 4, under reports and communication, is it an application? What is it, Aaron? It's not an application from City of Meriden. What do they want to do? Just straighten out the gate situation down at the
Oh,
south
okay.
end of their property?
Thank you for bringing that up. This is not an application for you guys. I just put that in there because I will be retiring, in the next few months, let's say, and I wanted the commission to know how much work the environmental planner position, mine or the next person's, whatever, there's a lot of work that we do outside of this meeting and outside of applications and violations. So I review all the planning and zoning applications that come through and the ZBA applications that come through and the pool permits that are asking for building permits and deck permits and so on. So this was just a little look for you guys to take a peek into the kind of reports that I write sometimes when a report I feel is needed to the planning, in this case, to the Planning and Zoning Commission, to the Planning Department.
And who suggested you do all this work?
This is what all the departments do. When a planning and zoning applications comes in, they circulate it to all the departments, fire, health, water and sewer. They all get it.
And you get involved in a deck? You go out, somebody's putting a deck on, that, you get into wetlands?
Well, I was referring to planning and zoning applications. A deck is building department. Ever since 2009, something happened, which I'll tell you. Ever since then, I review every deck, pool, building addition application that comes through. So this is just a tip of the iceberg of what I do behind the scenes that never comes to you. If this Meriden land storage area, the City of Meriden they already have a storage area. After the fact, this is an after-the-fact application to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They are storing
But
materials
wait a
there.
minute, what wetlands are they working with there at that end of the airport? Are they involved in upland review area or wetlands?
Almost. If they expand a little more, they will be. So that's one thing I wrote in the report.
I want to move along. Meriden, you can deal with them if they've created a violation.
Okay, but if I could answer your previous question about decks and so on. Ever since 2009, there was a change, the mayor changed it, because someone built their in-ground pool half on somebody else's property.
Yeah, we remember.
That's what changed it. So
But where does that become you and not planning and zoning?
it's everybody. They get it too.
But why do you go out on that? Why do you go out where
I don't
because you check the property lines? Isn't that a planning and zoning they located, an A2 survey?
That one did not involve wetlands. It was on Nathan's path. It did not involve.
Sometimes you got to stay in your own lane and get the work done on time.
Oh, no, you don't understand. I'm required to check it off. They don't get their pool until I check it off.
Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, you got 360 Woodhouse Avenue. You want to give us a quick, brief summary of what's going on there?
Yes, it went out in the packet. My environmental planners report went out in the packet. And basically, there is some progress. And in fact, I went out to the property Monday went out there. And they had David Lord put red flags. So there's new little red flags. And they asked him to come to an agreement between where he put the 50-foot upland review area boundary, and Ian Cole, to get in, and he put the red flags in because they want to move the shed and the coop, and they actually planed off an area for the shed at the top of the driveway, right outside of David Lord's new red flags, because they want to respect that boundary, and that it's all flattened off for the shed. Then on the other side, the north side, they're going to put the chicken coop way on the north side, again, respecting the red flags on that side. So they are making some headway there, and I understand that Giuliano was supposed to start work this week on the drainage plan, getting that moving along as well.
Okay. All right, the violations that, we're going to leave the violations. Can I have a motion to leave existing violations in effect?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that all the violations be affirmed.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. If there's nothing else to come before us tonight, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Super.